Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Locker Room. My name is Brian Grissom. I am the Sports Information Director here at Cleveland State, and we somehow made it to the studio this morning through all the rain and threats of snow and everything else. Dan, I'm joined by Coach Dan Lumpkin of the Cleveland State Lady Cougars, excuse me. We're all fighting the weather this morning and cold, so we're going to try to make it through this version, but I can't guarantee anything this morning. Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, we hit the road this past weekend, had a couple of really tough conference games. At Motlow State on Friday night, we come out with a 72-62 win at Motlow. Then we move on up the road to Volunteer State on Saturday afternoon, and we pull out, and I call it an upset. Now, it's an upset in my book. 69-66 win over a very good Volunteer State team. And I tell you what, 2 wins on the road, you got to be a happy coach.
Definitely. 2 hard-fought wins. We knew going into both games they were going to be tough games.
Yeah.
Both teams are good. Motlow hasn't won many games. Volunteer, until Saturday, had won every conference game and had only one other loss for the season. So we knew it was going to be a tough weekend. The Motlow game, we went out, put the pressure on early, extended a lead. They fought right back, took the lead. Going into the half, they were up 4.
They did.
And so we knew coming out of the second half we had to turn it on a little bit. The players did a good job in that second half. The first 5-6 minutes of the game we held them scoreless. But they kept coming back. Just exceptional play, I think, on their part. They played. I don't know if we played down to the level a little bit or they played up or if it was just a hard-fought conference game like they all are. But tough game to win there for sure.
I looked at their record going up there and I said, well, they're going to be a whole lot better than that record.
Yeah.
And they were. They played well. They didn't play like a team that hadn't won a game yet.
I think that's always true in our conference.
Yeah.
And, I'm always talking to the players trying to convince them of that. There are no easy conference games for us. On the women's side, every game is going to be tough. So you got a team like that doesn't have any conference wins and come in and fight us tooth and nail all the way down to the end. We felt good getting a 10-point win that night.
Absolutely.
Because it's been so close at times. Even though we stretched the lead out 10, 12, maybe 14 points at one time, they came back every time.
They did.
We went to the free throw line a lot of times that night for a lot of shots, but missed a lot. And in the end, it would have been nice to hit more free throws. And I think we may have controlled the game a lot better if we had.
We talked about that while we were up there. You scratch your head one day because you miss 18 free throws, and then you scratch your head the next day because you hit, I believe you told me, 24 or 27.
Yeah. The next day at Volunteer State.
How do you figure that out?
I tell you, that's that's one thing that's up to the players. It's we put them through the practice free throws again and again and again daily after going up and down consistently, trying to get them in the habit of game type free throws. And, that's one thing they've got to step to the line and be able to knock them down. They did a great job of that on Saturday. And, we felt like you said a good upset of Volunteer State. They hadn't lost a conference game until Saturday. And we knew it was going to be a tough game. They've got a prolific scorer in Janice Davis, a guard for them, who has scored a lot of points and averages about 27. We held her below her average. We had several people in and out all night long guarding her. And just feel like we did a good job on her to give us a chance to win in the end.
The Motlow game on Friday, as you said, we had a lead early. I'm looking down my notes here. The score actually went back and forth in the first, and we had a little bit of a run to take a lead, but then they caught us and went on top at halftime. What'd you tell the team at halftime?
Well, the play we were exhibiting in the first half couldn't continue the second half. We weren't stopping them defensively. Fouls became a factor. We were using a lot of players in and out because of the foul situation, but we're going to stick to, 2 fouls in the first half, you're coming out because we don't want to pick up that third for the second half. So there were some players that had to sit out longer than we would have liked in that first half.
Right.
But at halftime, we knew we had to come out and establish our game in that first 5 minutes of the second half, and that was the key for the run that we made, and I believe we held them scoreless for about 7 minutes. I think we went on about a 14-point run that really helped us get to a point that we could control the game, I felt like, for the second half.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Whatever you told them in the halftime, remember that, because they come out with a 12-1 run. So that I felt that was the difference in the ball game. And that Motlow made a couple runs, got down, I believe, to 4 points.
Yeah.
But we didn't hit our free throws, kept it a little closer, but we hit just enough down the stretch to win the ball game.
Yeah, well, making that lead, the players did a good job defensively, I think, made that run. We held them scoreless. when we got them in the full court press, we felt like that was an advantage for us. So we had to get scoring opportunities to be able to get in full court to be able to play 94 feet of pressure. That helped us. We had several possessions where we were able to get a steal, score, get right back in it, and do the same thing again, or at least get a dead ball situation, so we limited their opportunities. And that was key down the stretch.
Then Saturday afternoon, we hold on for the 10-point win at Motlow. We move on up the road to Volunteer. Always a tough place to play. They're always good, and they were no different this week. They had the big girls inside and the little girl that could shoot it. And I thought we played one of our best games of the season so far.
We feel that way also. As a team, really good job. I mean, we had a lot of different people contributing. You know, they do have a very good team, very good guards, good players inside, good shooters. You know, we felt their inside game was as good as their outside game. They do have the dominant guard, and we knew they wanted to go there as often as possible. So we knew we had to guard her well. So right off the bat, Catrice Harris, we put her on, you know, their best scorer and just told her to stick her all over the floor. We knew if she stayed in the game, she was going to get her points. And so we really had to go at her hard, try to get her in foul trouble, and we were able to do that. That was a huge factor in the first half, getting multiple fouls on her. So she spent more time on the bench rather than on the floor. You know, they were able to go to the post quite often and score as well, but keeping the pressure out there on the guards was really key for us.
Very seldom does a player on the opposing team have 20 points, and you're thrilled with that. But that was the case in this game, wasn't it?
Yeah, she averages 27, so we felt holding her 7 points under her average was a key to the game because she's had several games where she scored many more.
That's just a testament to her. She's a really good ball player. And then we're ahead by 1 point at halftime. Volunteer comes out, and they have a big run, and they go up by at least 7 or 8 points to start that. You used a timeout or two?
Yeah, immediately right there. You know, we knew we had to stop the game. We did not want it to get to 8 or 10, and we're not going to allow that. I was going to use 2 or 3 timeouts. It didn't matter. We needed to stop the game, make sure the players understood we can't let them build a substantial lead right here. The team responded, and immediately we made a turn. I think came down, hit a 3-point shot, brought it back within 3 or 4 points. And from there on, it was, you know, point for point, it felt like the whole way out till we finally made a run later in the second half and went up 5 or 6 points. But the free throws really, really were key that day. We did have some big 3-point buckets. We had a pretty good shooting night from the 3-point line. I know Jared Gasper hit some big 3-pointer late in the second half, right when we needed them, and kept us up and able to sort of maintain the type of play that got us to the point. Defensively, you know, I just felt we did a great job on a very good team. We rebounded a little better against a big team than we had the night before against Motlow, both with big players inside, but just securing more rebounds the second day helped us in not giving Volunteer State more possessions to come down that we have to play on defense.
That's exactly right. And then the run you were talking about came at about the 6 or 7 minute mark of the ball game, a 9-0 run. Lady Cougars jumped on top and never gave it back. And then we hit our free throws down the stretch and salted it away.
We knew the pressure was going to come in the last 2 minutes of play. And, you know, we've got to do a good job protecting the ball there. And we want it in people's hands who want to be on the free throw line and are able to knock down those free throws. And we were able to take care of the ball, not turn it over, and that's key coming down those low minutes when it's a really tight game with a team that can put on good full court pressure. We did a good job handling their full court pressure during those last 2 minutes, protecting the ball, getting to the free throw line, and hitting those free throws.
Good deal.
And you know, the defensive possessions and the rebounds those last 2 minutes were just key, and did a good job of securing the basketball to get that win.
Lady Cougars going to their overall record 9-1, 5-1 in conference play. Couldn't ask for more of that going into Thanksgiving break, could you?
We feel good about that. We just know, you know, it's a good run. It's been a good run so far. We've got to stay in shape. You know, there's a Thanksgiving break coming up, and we've challenged the players to get out there over the time that we're off and stay in condition. Don't lay around. Continue to work hard.
Eat turkey, but not too much.
That's right. That's right. Get out and run it off in the afternoon. Go shopping for 2 or 3 hours and walk very fast.
That ought to do it. Well, Coach, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and we'll talk to you after the Thanksgiving break.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining in this edition of Inside the Locker Room. I'm Brian Grissom saying good night and God bless everybody. Good day, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside the Locker Room. My name is Brian Grissom, and I am live and in color from Cleveland State Community College. I am the Sports Information Director here at the college, and I am joined today with two lovely young ladies on the Lady Cougars basketball team here at Cleveland State. Miss Jamisha Mosley, don't let me butcher your name, and Jared Gasper have joined us this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
All right, there's one word out, so we're doing good. Needless to say, the ladies are a little nervous this morning, so we're going to get them over that a little bit, and we'll talk a little basketball, give you a little insight into what goes through a player's mind both on and off the court. Excuse me. We're all battling sore throats and all that kind of stuff with this kind of weather, so you'll just have to bear with us there at home. First of all, I'll start with Jara. Jara, you're a sophomore. This is your second year here at Cleveland State, from just up the road at Lenore City. Is that right?
Yes.
Correct me now if my notes are wrong here.
Yes.
And played at Loudon High School.
Yes.
Is that right? All right. Tell me about the difference. Go back a year. Tell me about the difference between going from high school ball to college ball.
It's a lot more demanding than high school.
Mm-hmm.
High school, we didn't really have to work out much. Here, you have to work out at least twice a week. You have to shoot twice a week outside of any practices.
Right.
So it's a lot more demanding. And then plus you have to factor in the homework, which is a lot more than high school as well. So it's just a lot more demanding.
Kind of a culture shock a little
Yes.
bit, isn't it? You rolled your eyes. You must agree with that. Is that right, Jamisha? Now, you are a freshman this year, so you're new to the college life here in Tennessee. You're from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Christian County High School?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell me the difference between Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and Cleveland, Tennessee.
Well, it's not much of a difference.
Oh, really?
But it seems the same to me.
Oh, really? Well, what led to your decision to come to Cleveland State?
It's far away.
Far away. You wanted to get out on your own a little bit. Is that right? All right. Good deal. Girls, let's talk a little bit about the game itself and the team. You're coming together with girls you've never played with before, and how are things going along with not just you two, with your teammates, and how do you adjust to learning a whole new system and all that stuff? We'll start with you, Jamisha.
I don't know. I don't really know.
Well, tell me a little bit about the difference between what you played in high school and the college game.
It's a little bit faster, more time. Yeah, that's what it is.
Faster, all right.
More time.
Jared, same question.
The difference?
Yeah, just.
It's a lot more faster and more time, so you get more tired. So it's just faster, basically.
Okay. Tell me about some of your teammates now. Who's the class clown?
Jamisha.
No, it's Chiquita.
It's little Chiquita and Jamisha.
And Jamisha.
They're both
okay.
always laughing.
Now, see, you're a little shy on the set here, but I found out something about you. Now, what does she do to keep things lively?
She just always laughs, always trying to say something.
Now, we'll talk about Turquita later. We'll get her on here and let y'all pick on her a little bit. All right, we've played 5 or 6 ball games now, and you've kind of. I'll direct this question to you, Jamisha. Tell me a little bit. Is it a little more than you expected, or a little? The other teams. What do you think?
It's a little more than I expected.
Is that right? Well, now you seem to have handled it pretty well. Your scoring averages are great, and just about any time we need someone to take it down the lane and score a big bucket, you get it done. So tell me a little bit about what are you just playing on instinct, or how do you approach it?
Honestly, I think I just go.
Just go.
I just go.
Well, all right.
I don't think. I just go.
Well, so maybe that's the key to the whole thing, then. Huh? All right. Tell me about where you want to major in.
Social work.
Social work. Oh, and when you get out of school, are you going to a 4-year college, or have you thought that far ahead?
Yes, sir.
Have you got anywhere in mind?
Murray State.
Murray State. All right. She's got a plan. There we go. How about you, Jared?
I'm majoring in nursing and business.
Nursing and business.
And I'd love to go to Carson Newman.
All right. Good deal. Both of you want to continue your playing career after Cleveland State?
I do.
Okay. Well, folks, I think that's about all that I can drag out of them to this point in time. They did a wonderful job, and we appreciate them taking time. I think Jared's got a test in about 2 minutes.
Yes,
is that right?
yes,
All
I
right,
do.
good deal. Well, we're going to let them get to that, and we appreciate them stopping by. Thanks once again for tuning in to this edition of Inside the Locker Room. I'm Brian Grissom saying good night and God bless everybody.